Hey everybody, happy Saturday, January 24th of 2026. This is my last update for the upcoming winter storm as it is literally on our doorstep. So I thought I'd just show you some current conditions, give you the absolute latest models that just came out an hour ago, and talk a little bit about what to expect over the next day and a half or so. So this is the radar, so this is what's actually falling. So you can see up in this region across kind of the Midwest, there's snow all over the place. There's some thunderstorms and heavy rain across Louisiana, and some freezing rain and some ice kind of in between. You can see if you look across our area, across the Carolinas, you're starting to see some of these little blips showing up. And if you're outside, you might see some sleet or even a snowflake mixing in. That's the initial push of moisture going up over the cold air that has been moving in all day. So if I show this to you, this map looks really complicated at first, and it kind of is, but I'll highlight a few things. So this line that's right here, this purple line, I'm actually going to change my color again, make purple. So it's already purple. I'll make it red. Here we go. This right here, this purplish line that I'm drawing, everything north of here is below freezing already. So the winds, as you can see the little wind barbs there, the winds are blowing this way. The mountains are right in here. And so we have our initial push of this very cold Arctic air. And this 32-degree line in a few hours will be here, and a few more hours will be here, and a few more hours it'll be all the way down to Atlanta. So that's the cold air that's coming in. So our temperatures are already on the decline. I'm recording this about 4 o'clock. My temperature here at the house has already gone down 3 degrees in the last hour or two. So that's that cold air coming in. The other big thing is the air is very dry outside. So what you're not seeing on here is the dew point. But when the air is really dry, that initial sleet or rain that falls into that, or snow, it evaporates or the ice sublimates, and then that makes it even colder outside. And the dew point right now is like 10 degrees out. So as precipitation starts to fall as we head into the evening, it's going to really make it cold quickly, and we'll fall into the low 20s by probably like 2, 3 in the morning. So I want to show you what the models are showing. So this is the absolute latest. This just came out like an hour ago. So this is one of the high resolution models, and I'm going to show you 3 just to show you comparison. It has precipitation starting right around this time. This is around 9 o'clock this evening. Again, don't be surprised you see some light sleet around here or there scattered, but the real steady stuff starts between 10, 11, and by 12, 1 in the morning it's ramped up, and you can see it has us in all this freezing rain. By mid-morning, it should lighten up. Most of the models have it lightening up, but if you look here, all these little pink blips, that's usually light drizzle, really light precipitation, which is usually very conducive in this kind of situation. And remember, light precipitation accumulates really well as ice, because our temperature here, if I show you the ground temperature, what it's forecast, is only 23 degrees, and this is around lunchtime tomorrow, and there's light mist and drizzle. So anything that falls will freeze in a very, very quick way. As I step this forward through time, one of the big discrepancies with the models that we're really unsure of is looks like a heavy band of rain and maybe some thunderstorms will move through here about 6 p.m. tomorrow. And this particular model still has us about 29 or 30 degrees, in which case this would be a lot of freezing rain that would fall, and then that would exit out to the east. And you can see the freezing line on this model is kind of just south of Charlotte. And if I show you other models, they show kind of a similar situation. This model shows some sleet, quite a bit of sleet starting, and eventually we change over to freezing rain. And again, there's all that like light drizzle. It doesn't even show up well here. And then when this line moves through, you can see it shows it is a line of freezing rain as well. Finally, I'll show you one other high-resolution model. Again, there's that scattered kind of sleet and maybe snow in northern North Carolina right now. But it really ramps up right in here. Again, this is around midnight when the heavier precipitation starts to fall. And you can see it kind of stays with us all overnight. Now this is 7 a.m. in the morning, still precipitation falling. It also shows light precipitation. Again, if you look closely, all these little pink blips, that's usually very light rain, very light drizzle, which is actually, again, very bad when you're talking about freezing rain. That accumulates much more efficiently than heavy rain. And this model also shows that line coming through very heavy freezing rain around 4, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So there are a couple of questions with this forecast still. The models have trended a bit downward in total precipitation. So I think that yesterday the models were all showing about 1.5 or so inches of liquid precipitation. They've trended downward towards closer to an inch, which reduces the overall ice totals. Another big question is how long does it sleet tonight? The longer it sleets, the less freezing rain we're going to get. The quicker we transition to freezing rain, the more ice accumulation we're going to have. And that's going to vary place to place, region to region. So if you watch this and you're up in northern North Carolina, it's going to be sleet way longer. If you're down in South Carolina, it's going to turn to freezing rain. It'll turn to freezing rain faster. So it really depends on your location in terms of when it's going to change over. So those are some of the big question marks. And like I said, the last question mark is when that big line comes through tomorrow. So when I zing this forward, when this line comes through, is it freezing rain or are we at like 33 degrees? Some of the global models have us like 33, 34, in which case it would be all rain, and it's not a big deal at that point. So we'll have to see how that plays out. So there's still a lot of question marks with this. Suffice it to say, the National Weather Service out of Greenville, Spartanburg, out of Greer, they just updated their freezing rain accumulation map. So how I would arrange this, if I were to draw on this again, is I would draw a line like right through here. So if you're kind of in South Charlotte and points towards the south and east, it looks like there simply just won't be as much precipitation, and you're more likely to change to rain later on tomorrow night and Sunday. If you're in this kind of corridor right in here, kind of from Charlotte along 85 and points to the north and west, I think that's where the greatest ice accumulation is going to be. So basically from Charlotte back to Lincolnton, Hickory, up towards the mountains, you can see the totals here somewhere around half an inch. 0.6, maybe up to 0.7. And again, just remember from the videos that I made before, anything over a quarter of an inch of freezing rain will break branches and cause problems. So pretty much the whole area is very, very likely to see at least a quarter of an inch of freezing rain. It's when you get over a half an inch, when you're getting that 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, that's when much larger things start to fall down, like big tree branches, power goes out in a much larger scale. Once you get above these 0.75s, some of these places realize 0.75 out here, that's when it becomes super destructive. So there's still a lot of wiggle room here. I mean, the models could be a little off, and it could be a little colder and we get more sleet. The models could be off, it's a little warmer, we get more freezing rain. But if they're a little warmer, we get less freezing rain later tomorrow. So there's a lot of question marks here. But suffice it to say, this is going to be a pretty big ice event. It's going to start after dark really robustly. I think, again, we'll probably see some scattered sleet around, but the really heavier stuff won't start until probably after 9 or 10 o'clock this evening. And then it'll be all night tonight and then pretty much all day tomorrow. If we do get above freezing, it's not going to be until tomorrow between 5 and 8 p.m., something like that. So stay safe. Remember, make sure you have everything charged up in case you do lose power. Make sure you have enough food and water. You only have a couple hours left before the roads start getting really, really bad. Anyway, this is my last update. Hope you enjoyed. I try to give a little bit of the science behind these things. It's always fascinating. It's always a puzzle we're trying to figure out, and there's so many variables, and they change from location to location. So I hope you enjoy. Stay safe, and I will see you next winter storm.